Hi everyone, I'm Laura Keto, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back, should I say, or welcome me back. I've been gone for a while. I haven't had an opportunity to really get down and make some videos, and I'm still kind of struggling with some software issues, but I hope to get back to that soon and be able to produce more videos. But anyway, it's good to be back, and I want to talk to you today about something that I've been struggling with for about the past 7 months, and that is a ketogenic stall. And I'm sure if you have ever had one, you can appreciate just how difficult it is to be in a stall. Let's see, I need to kind of catch you up since the last time I posted a video. So I've lost 50 pounds total, maybe a little bit more because I'm not sure exactly how much I weighed when I started. So I'm just kind of estimating that maybe it was about 10 pounds or so because I did have a little bit of loss. But anyway, so we're looking at 50-60 pounds at this point, which is wonderful. But interestingly, I lost most of that in the beginning, and if you've done keto, you probably can relate that we tend to lose a lot in the beginning, and then it comes off slow after that. So in April 2018, I began to slow down, and wasn't sure if it was just because I was a little bit lazy with the keto or what the problem was, but I figured, well, you know, eventually it's going to come off because I stayed in ketosis the whole time. I used the strips, and I was showing ketosis the whole time. There were a couple times later on I think I got kicked out, but that's another video. But for the majority of the time I stayed in ketosis and wasn't losing. So from about April until here we are, this is February 2019. From April 2018 until January 2019, I didn't actually, well, no. Until recently I didn't start losing again. But I began to really, where I was going with that is I really began to try to tweak and figure out what was causing the stall. And so I appreciate all of you who are out there making videos, because for months I spent just researching how to break a stall, and so many of you have posted great videos. There's so many of you that I could thank, like Keto Christina and Keto Chaos, Tammy, hi Tammy, and hi Christina, Kent Altna. There's so many, and Dr. Berg, he's got a lot on breaking stalls. I could just go on, and I will link some of those names to this video that it really have helped me to try to tweak that process. So anyway, so I began to kind of play around with a few things. I kind of got it narrowed down to why I wasn't losing any weight. And cream was one, sweeteners was two, adding intermittent fasting, because I hadn't done that until recently. I think those are the three main ones that I've been experimenting with. And I started with the intermittent fasting right after Christmas, and I didn't lose anything. I actually got through Christmas quite well. I did have some keto treats made with erythritol, and you know, just enjoyed that, but didn't kick me out of ketosis, and thought that I had gotten through that. Okay, I didn't gain, so yay, that's good, right? But still no loss. So come January, I started trying intermittent fasting. First thing I tried, scale still didn't move. Did that for about a month, still didn't move. Then another couple weeks, nothing. I did some 16-hour, 8-16. I did a couple of 24-hour fasts, and I'm not really ready to push it beyond that, although I think I will eventually, but didn't break the stall. So then I thought, my cream, I don't want to give up my cream. I love my cream. But I decided I'm going to have to give it a try if I want to break this stall. So Dr. Atkins in his original book, he talked a lot about how certain things like nuts and cream and sweeteners, you got to be really careful of them. And kudos to Dr. Atkins, because long before any of this, keto became popular, he was the founder of the ketogenic diet. A lot of people don't even know that. And if you heard that Dr. Atkins died of a heart attack, no, it's not true. He fell on the ice. I think he was in his 70s, maybe even 80s, I'm not sure. You can Google it. He fell on the ice and hit his head and died. Some people say that Atkins doesn't allow vegetables and it's all fat, fat, fat. No. Dr. Atkins was on the right track with the ketogenic diet. He is the one that I have to thank for all of the wisdom in founding this diet. But anyway, so back to why I'm making this video, how I broke a stall. So he was the one that talked a lot about being careful of nuts and cream and sweeteners. And so I had to start cutting back on the sweeteners and cream. So I cut my cream from, I probably unknowingly drank a lot more cream than I realized, because I was stopping at Tim Hortons, and I know that they put a lot of cream in a medium-sized coffee, probably a good couple of ounces, and I know you're only really supposed to have 2 to 3 ounces. So I had to cut it out. So tried cutting that down on my coffee to just a splash of cream. Couldn't do it. Tried adding stevia instead of Splenda. No. So then I started cutting out Splenda. I figured, well, I'll try Splenda first before I give up the cream. Nothing. So here we are 2 months later, and I realized that if I'm going to cut down on sweetener and cream, which I love both of them, and I really like my morning coffee to have some sweetness to it. It's just that morning comfort that I need. And I can't drink it black, so don't even suggest that, because that's blech. So I figured if I'm going to give these things up, I've got to find an alternative. So I did some research on green tea. And I became very interested in it because not only is it a possible alternative, but it's got a lot of health benefits to it too. And I had kind of given up on the idea a while back when I first started reading about it, because I tried some tea bags that you buy in the grocery store and thought, well, it tastes okay, and I don't mind the iced tea that you can buy in the bottle in the grocery store, but it wasn't a replacement for coffee at all. So I did some research and I discovered that there's a couple of different kinds of tea, of green tea, and it comes from Japan, and the one particular kind, which is the most popular and has so many health benefits, is matcha. You've probably heard of that, matcha green tea. And it comes in powder form, and it's not a tea bag. And so when you're putting the green tea into your hot water, you're mixing the whole leaf into that. And so I thought I'd give that a try. So I went and I did some research, found out which was the better ones, which I can do a video on what I learned and how I make my tea at a later point. But for the purpose of this video, to talk about how I broke a stall using green tea, I found some ceremonial green matcha from Japan, a brand called Jade Leaf, which is very, very popular. It's one of the Amazon choice, and it's a pure organic blend, and it was wonderful. And what I discovered here, I'll show you my green tea because I have some right here. I put it in my blender because unless you have a Japanese bamboo whisk, the powder will clump if you don't blend it. So I use my, you see that? It's so yummy. So good. So I use my blender to whisk it, basically. So what I learned was that I can get away with about a teaspoon of cream and a couple of drops, tiny drops of stevia. And it's sweet and creamy and delicious and warm, and it's actually, I never thought I would ever say this, but it actually can replace my morning cup of joe. I have been a coffee drinker for 30 some years, love my coffee, never want to give up my coffee, but because of this stall, I had to find something. And so I started about 2 weeks ago with this and love it. Been drinking it every day, 2-3 times a day. So I think I've gone from, oh my gosh, probably about 5 to 6 ounces of cream on a bad day and maybe 2 on a good day, to maybe a couple of teaspoons of cream a day, and cutting out the sweeteners and using only a couple of drops of stevia. And I use Sweet Leaf brand, which is much sweeter than the others. I've tried all the others, and well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them that you find in the grocery store and the health food stores, and to me they taste like alcohol. I don't like them, but Sweet Leaf just seems to be one of the best. So I have been drinking this now for 2 weeks, couple of a day, 2-3 a day, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And since I've been doing it, the scale has finally moved. Yay! I'm so excited. I was beginning to get so frustrated and so concerned that I was almost ready to give up on this diet. But thankfully I didn't. And I'm just so thankful to all of you out there who posted videos about stalls and cream and sweeteners and how they do cause stalls. And I knew that, but the truth is I didn't want to give up my coffee, and I was willing to reduce it, but it still had to be good. And since cutting it back in the coffee didn't make a good cup, I had to find an alternative. So the scale finally moved as a result, and I am down 10 pounds in 2 weeks since the stall. And that, well, I say 2 weeks, but I had a little bit of fluctuation after Christmas, and I think that that's because I was eating some of the keto treats, a lot of nuts, a lot of Lily chocolate and things like that, which tend to kind of make me retain or not lose. So I had a little bit of fluctuation going on. So it's hard to say exactly, but the scale has moved finally at least 10 pounds, and after I think about a 7-month stall from April to now. So cheers to green tea, because couldn't give up my coffee. It is so good. It's thick and creamy. Unlike tea, when you just get a tea bag and you make some tea, it's kind of watery and clear, and it's tasty. I like tea, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't replace that cup of coffee. So I am just thrilled that I have found an alternative that I can live with. I can live with this alternative. I can live with an ounce or 2 of cream a day. I can live with stevia in my green tea. It tastes good. It's a cup of comfort, which I need every day. Oh, check this out. And the caffeine. The caffeine in green tea is different than caffeine in coffee. And it's got things in it that I can't pronounce, and maybe, again, I'll do another video once I learn a little bit more. But green tea has something in it that gives you a sense of well-being. It starts with a T, and I can't remember what it's called. But and the caffeine is sort of a steady flow of caffeine over several hours, as opposed to, that it hits you and then you kind of crash and burn. No jitters at all, and there's just almost this little bit of euphoria that comes with it, which is, hey, that's a bonus, right? And it's just the most wonderful discovery on this ketogenic journey. Thanks to keto, I would have never found green tea, because I honestly thought that it was just, when you're in the supermarket and they got those refrigerators, and they've got the green tea, iced tea, and I'll grab one of those when I'm thirsty, and they're good. But I didn't realize that real green tea, real Japanese green tea, was so wonderful. I mean, this stuff rocks. And the health benefits, oh my gosh, wow, there are just so many wonderful health benefits from green tea. I'm sure it's all the rage, so I'm sure you've heard about it. But I'd love to do more videos on green tea and the kind that I'm using. There's a couple, you do have to do your research. There's green tea that's made in, I don't know, California, and I don't know, but that's not made in Japan. And I know that there's a certain process that it has to go through. But the two main things to look for are, there's two grades. There's ceremonial grade and there's culinary grade. And I have to take a sip. The ceremonial grade is the one that they drink from a bowl in Japan. And that is the sweet, delicate, the more flavorful tea. The culinary you can buy in bulk, and it's much cheaper. And it goes for about 16 cents a cup for the culinary and about 50 cents to $1 for the ceremonial grade. So it's not cheap. So what I ended up doing was I bought both and I tried both. And the ceremonial was delicious, and the culinary that's used in cooking and baking was a little bit more bitter. So what I did, because I don't have $3-4 a day to spend on tea, is I bought both and I use a little bit of each, and they kind of counteract each other, so that I'm not getting a bitter cup, because I don't need to be adding more sweetener just to make the lower grade taste better. So I've got it down to about $1 a day with this, which is great, because that's what I was spending on coffee once I gave up the Tim Hortons, because that was adding up too. So too much cream, too much money. Love you, Timmy Hoes, but sorry, can't do it. I won't lose weight if I keep doing it. So I am just so excited. It's almost spring. This is just a beautiful green for St. Patrick's Day and spring, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be back. I know that I'm watching you guys. They have channels. I may not always respond. I need to do that. I need to comment more and let you know that I'm watching. But I am here. Sometimes Tammy at Keto Chaos, I watch you when I'm driving to work or driving home from work on Tuesdays when you go live on YouTube. And obviously I can't text and drive, so I just listen and wish that I could talk. Maybe someday they'll have that feature where you can talk live. Maybe they do, I don't know, but I haven't found it yet. Keto Christina, I've been watching you. You guys are doing great. You've all lost so much weight, and all the rest of you guys, Keto Connect, Dr. Boz, there's so many of you, and I just am so thankful, because this time of being on a weight loss stall has been horrible, horribly frustrating, just time after time not seeing that scale move, not wanting to call it quits, and just hanging in there. It's because of you guys and all the time that I spent watching your videos and knowing that if you guys are doing it, I can do it too, and hanging in there. And I'm sure this isn't the first time that I'm going to struggle with a plateau, and I'm just so grateful to have you guys out there. And we have to support each other, right? Because so many people don't know about keto, and there's so much to know about it that we have to keep supporting each other and keep helping each other through this. And so I'm so proud to be a part of the keto community. All you guys, I hope that you'll sub, and I'll be happy to sub you back. Just let me know. Click the thumbs up, and I will be back with some more videos, and love to talk with you about how I make green tea. Thank you, and God bless.